God is speaking in anger today. You made a mistake that heaven noticed, and if you walk away from this message, it will not be forgiven lightly. So listen to God now before it's too late. I am not whispering to you today. I am speaking with fire, because what you did shook the gates of heaven, and it cannot be ignored. If you scroll past these words, you may miss the very warning that is standing between you and a loss you are not prepared to face. I need you to stay and hear me fully, because what I am about to correct in you will protect your future and restore what almost slipped from your hands. The mistake you made was not small, and it was not hidden, and it opened a door that I am urgently trying to close before damage spreads. If you are ready to receive correction and mercy at the same time, type Amen in the comments. You stepped into something carelessly, thinking no one saw, thinking it was harmless, but I saw the intention behind it, and I saw the crack it created in your spiritual covering. I am not angry because I want to punish you. I am angry because I love you, and I refuse to let you drift toward a consequence that could scar your destiny. Heaven noticed because your calling is not ordinary, and when someone chosen moves in the wrong direction, the impact is greater than they realize. I am confronting you now so that what could have become a tragedy becomes a testimony of rescue. Before you go any further, take a moment to like this video as a sign that you are choosing to stay and listen with humility. The mistake was rooted in pride and distraction, and you allowed your emotions to lead you instead of my spirit. You entertained a thought you should have rejected, and you gave attention to something that did not deserve your time. I watched as you justified it in your heart, telling yourself it was not serious, yet deep inside you felt the warning I placed there. That inner check you ignored was me, trying to slow your steps before you walked into regret. I am speaking firmly because delay right now would cost you more than you are ready to lose. Do not misunderstand my tone, because my anger is not hatred, but protective love that refuses to stay silent. I correct those I claim, and you are claimed, marked, and sealed for a purpose that hell has tried to interrupt. The enemy noticed your small compromise and was ready to build on it, layer by layer, until your strength was drained and your confidence shaken. I stepped in quickly because I will not allow what I built in you to collapse over one careless decision. I am stopping the fall before it becomes a fracture that takes years to heal. You felt distant from me after it happened, and that distance was not because I left, but because guilt made you hide. I saw you replay it in your mind, wondering if you disappointed me beyond repair. Hear me clearly now. You disappointed me, but you did not disqualify yourself. The reason I am raising my voice is because your future is too valuable to treat lightly. What you almost lost was not just peace, it was alignment with the blessing I prepared for this season. I need you to understand that heaven's attention on your mistake is actually proof of your importance. If you were ordinary, the silence would have continued and correction would not have come so swiftly. The fact that I am addressing you with urgency means I am guarding something powerful that belongs to you. I am shielding your calling, your family, your mind, and your next opportunity from the ripple effect of one wrong step. Type 1111 in the comments as a declaration that you believe I am still guarding your destiny. What would have followed if I stayed silent would have been heavier than you imagine. There would have been confusion where there should be clarity, loss where there should be growth, and tension where there should be peace. I saw the path unfolding, and I chose to interrupt it with correction rather than let you learn through devastation. This is mercy wrapped in strong words, and you must see it that way. I am pulling you back before the door you cracked open becomes a storm. You are not being cast away, you are being called higher. I am not exposing your error to shame you. I am revealing it so you can rise above it and become stronger than before. The anger you hear is passion for your protection, because I refuse to watch you settle for less than what I designed. I am closing the wrong doors and reinforcing the right ones even now. Stay with me. Listen closely, and let this moment reshape your steps before it is too late. I will not allow confusion to sit comfortably in your heart, because confusion weakens discernment and opens doors that should remain sealed. What you treated as a small compromise had the potential to grow roots if left unchallenged. I am uprooting it now before it becomes something that controls you. You must see how quickly influence can shift when your guard drops. The enemy does not begin with destruction. He begins with distraction, and that is where you stumbled. You entertained what you should have dismissed, and you listened to voices that did not carry my wisdom. I watched the subtle change in your thoughts, and I stepped in before those thoughts shaped your actions beyond repair. My anger rose because I refused to let subtle deception steal what I have carefully built in you. You are chosen, and that is why your errors carry weight. When you move, others are affected, even when you do not realize it. The atmosphere around you shifts based on your obedience or disobedience. I am teaching you that leadership begins in private decisions long before it appears in public influence. What you almost damaged was not just your own peace, but the covering over people connected to you. This is not about condemning you, it is about strengthening you. I will not let you remain spiritually immature when I have called you to carry greater responsibility. You felt the warning inside, and you pushed it aside because your emotions felt louder in that moment. I am training you to recognize that. My whisper must always carry more authority than your feelings. Discipline now will prevent devastation later. There is a reason heaven noticed quickly. I have invested too much in your growth to ignore a pattern forming. I have protected you from things you never knew were aimed at you, and I have redirected dangers that never reached your door. I will not allow carelessness to undo what grace has secured. This correction is a tightening of your foundation, not a tearing down of your identity. Can just saying 9 words daily actually make money flow into your life? A top neuroscientist says yes, and the FBI accidentally confirmed it. This forgotten prayer is now transforming ordinary people into debt-free and financially free for life. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. You may have felt fear when you heard my anger, but fear is not my intention. Reverence is what I am restoring in you. You had grown slightly casual with my presence, slightly comfortable with the boundaries I set. Comfort without awareness becomes complacency, and complacency weakens spiritual strength. I am awakening you before weakness turns into loss. Understand that forgiveness is available, but transformation is required. I do not overlook patterns that threaten your destiny. I correct so that you rise, not so that you shrink. What I saw forming could have delayed your progress for years. I intervened because I want acceleration, not delay, in your life. You are not rejected, and you are not cast aside. If I intended to remove you, I would not be speaking to you with such intensity. The fact that I am confronting you means I am committed to you. I discipline what I love and invest in what I plan to elevate. Your future is still intact, but it must be protected with obedience. There were spiritual consequences forming that you could not see. Doors were beginning to align in the wrong direction, and relationships were shifting subtly. I saw the ripple before you felt the wave. I blocked what was advancing toward you because I refused to let one wrong agreement cost you years of rebuilding. My anger stood as a shield. You must learn from this moment instead of merely feeling sorry. Regret without change will repeat itself. I am teaching you awareness, not just remorse. I am sharpening your discernment so that next time the warning inside you will be impossible to ignore. Growth requires moments like this. The enemy hoped you would ignore my correction and continue drifting. He expected pride to rise in you and cause you to resist my voice. But I am calling you back into humility before pride builds walls between us. Pride isolates, but humility restores connection. I am drawing you closer even while I correct you. You are still under my protection, and that has not changed. My anger did not remove my covering from you. It strengthened it. I am reinforcing your boundaries and strengthening your mind. You will come out of this more focused and more disciplined than before. This is a defining moment, not a destructive one. What you do now determines the direction of your next season. If you respond with obedience, the blessing I prepared will not be delayed. If you resist, you will feel the weight of unnecessary struggle. I am guiding you toward ease, not hardship. Your calling demands maturity. You cannot carry greater favor while holding on to careless habits. I am stretching your capacity to handle responsibility. You asked for growth, and growth requires correction. I am answering your prayer in a way that strengthens you. Heaven noticed because heaven expects more from you. That expectation is not pressure, it is honor. I would not expect more if I did not know what you are capable of becoming. I see the leader inside you, even when you act smaller than your calling. I am pulling you up to match the vision I have for you. Do not shrink back now. Do not allow shame to silence your faith. Stand firm in repentance and step forward in obedience. I am still walking with you, and I am still guiding you. My anger has already begun turning into instruction. The mistake is not your identity, it is a lesson. It is a moment that will sharpen you if you allow it. I am shaping you into someone who does not repeat avoidable errors. Strength is being built through this confrontation. There is still blessing ahead of you. There is still favor waiting in your next step. But I need your full attention and your full surrender. Half obedience cannot carry full protection. I am aligning you again so that the path ahead remains clear. What almost became a setback will now become wisdom. What almost became loss will become awareness. I am turning this into a strengthening season instead of a breaking season. My anger has already begun working for your good. Stay close to me now. Guard your thoughts. Protect your focus. I am restoring the sensitivity you briefly ignored. You will not fall into the same trap again because this moment has marked you. I am still your defender, your provider, your guide. I have not withdrawn my promises. I am simply refining you so that you can carry them without compromise. The fire of correction is preparing you for the weight of favor. You thought you were managing it, telling yourself you still had control. That is how subtle compromise works. It convinces you that you are strong enough to flirt with weakness. I watched as you tested boundaries you once respected without hesitation. The shift was small, but small shifts change entire journeys over time. I stepped in before the small became permanent. There are spiritual laws that govern your growth, and one of them is obedience. When you honor what I instruct, protection follows naturally. When you disregard my nudges, you create friction in places that should flow easily. The mistake you made interrupted momentum that I had carefully built in your life. I am rebuilding that momentum now, but I need your cooperation. You must recognize how valuable your focus is. Your mind is a gateway, and whatever you allow to settle there will eventually shape your actions. You gave attention to something that diluted your clarity. That dilution weakened your spiritual alertness for a moment. I am sharpening you again so that your discernment becomes stronger than temptation. Why are 55 countries using the same mysterious money script? Because a leaked research file just exposed a 9-word pattern that activates wealth-attracting pathways in the brain. Repeat it daily, and watch money flow like water into your life. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. I am not only correcting behavior, I am transforming perspective. You must stop viewing my warnings as restrictions and begin seeing them as shields. Every boundary I set carries protection within it. When you crossed that line, you stepped outside a layer of safety I had placed around you. I quickly repositioned you before harm could settle in. There is favor attached to your obedience, and that favor is not random. I prepared doors that are sensitive to your spiritual condition. When your alignment shifts, access shifts as well. I will not allow misalignment to close what I have opened for you. That is why I intervened with urgency. Do not interpret my firmness as distance. I am closer now than you realize. Correction is intimate because it proves involvement. If I were distant, silence would have been easier. Instead, I chose engagement because your growth matters deeply to me. I want you to look at the areas of your life that began feeling heavy after your mistake. That heaviness was not coincidence. It was a signal that something needed adjustment. You felt resistance where there used to be peace. That resistance was my spirit alerting you that change was necessary. Type 777 inches the comments as a sign that you are choosing alignment over impulse. I am teaching you to value long-term reward over short-term satisfaction. The decision you made gave you a brief sense of comfort, but it carried long-term consequences. I stepped in because I see beyond moments. I see the full timeline of your life, and I know what each choice can produce. Trust my foresight even when you do not fully understand it. The enemy studies your weaknesses carefully. He looks for repeated openings and waits for consistency in compromise. When he senses repetition, he builds strategy around it. I broke that strategy by confronting you early. What could have become a stronghold was reduced to a lesson. You are stronger than the slip you made. That is why I am correcting you instead of removing you. Your identity is rooted in my calling, not in your failure. But identity must be guarded through discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It is preparation for greater capacity. I am strengthening your spiritual reflexes. Next time a similar temptation approaches, you will feel the warning more clearly. You will remember this moment and choose differently. Growth is built through memory and humility. I am planting both inside you now. There are blessings that require maturity to handle. I am bringing you into seasons where influence will increase. Influence magnifies both strength and weakness. I am removing weakness before influence grows. This is protection disguised as confrontation. You must not allow shame to push you into isolation. Isolation is where mistakes multiply. Stay close to me and stay connected to the guidance I provide. The correction you received is a sign that you are still under my direct care. I am refining you, not rejecting you. If I had allowed silence, you would have interpreted it as approval. Approval would have led to repetition. Repetition would have led to entanglement. Entanglement would have required deeper correction later. I chose early intervention because I value your peace. Type 1212 in the comments as a declaration that you trust my correction. I am restoring your sensitivity to my presence. You had grown slightly distracted, slightly divided in attention. I am bringing your focus back to center. Focus strengthens your spiritual authority. When you are centered, distractions lose their power. There is still promise ahead of you, and it has not been revoked. I am guarding it carefully, but promise requires partnership. I will lead, but you must follow without hesitation. Alignment keeps your path smooth and your mind clear. This moment is building resilience inside you. You are learning that even chosen ones must remain vigilant. Calling does not remove accountability, it increases it. I am shaping you into someone who honors that responsibility with humility. Your future is not defined by this mistake, it is defined by how you respond to correction. If you respond with obedience, this will mark a turning point toward deeper strength. If you resist, You will feel unnecessary resistance in your journey. I am inviting you to choose growth. I am proud of you for staying and listening instead of running. That humility already shows change. What could have been a fracture is becoming reinforcement. You are coming out stronger, clearer, and more focused than before. Do not forget this feeling. Let it remind you that my voice is protective even when intense. I will continue guiding you with both tenderness and firmness. Both are expressions of love. Walk forward now with renewed awareness. Guard your thoughts carefully. Protect your environment intentionally. I am standing with you, ensuring that your steps remain steady. You were moving faster than your discipline could support. Your ambition was growing, but your inner guard had relaxed. That imbalance is dangerous because growth without structure collapses under pressure. I saw the future pressure that was coming, and I strengthened your structure before it arrived. What felt like anger was reinforcement. You must understand that accountability is a form of honor. I hold you accountable because you are capable of carrying more. I do not correct those who refuse growth. I correct those who are destined for impact. The mistake you made revealed an area that still required refinement. There were habits forming quietly, and habits shape character. Character shapes influence, and influence shapes legacy. I will not allow a weak habit to poison a strong calling. I am cutting off the root before it spreads deeper. This is how I preserve what I plant. You may have noticed that after my correction, clarity began returning to your thoughts. The fog that surrounded your decisions started lifting. That is not coincidence. When alignment is restored, clarity follows naturally. I am clearing your vision so you can see the next steps without distortion. What secret did the FBI hide about your brain and money? They discovered a phrase, just 9 words long, that flips a switch in your mind to attract wealth without effort. It's already changed the lives of thousands of people in just weeks. If you're seeing this, you're lucky the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. You were at risk of normalizing what should have disturbed you. That is how spiritual sensitivity fades over time. Small compromises repeated become accepted patterns. I interrupted that cycle early. I refuse to let you grow numb to what should awaken you. Your calling requires consistency, not bursts of passion followed by carelessness. I am building consistency inside you. Consistency strengthens authority. When your private life aligns with your public faith, power flows freely. I am preparing you for that level of stability. Type 555 inches the comments as a sign that you are choosing discipline over distraction. There is something powerful about being corrected before collapse. Many only learn after loss, but I stepped in before loss could take shape. That is mercy operating through firmness. You were close to repeating a behavior that would have deepened consequences. I stopped repetition before it turned into regret. You are learning that my presence is not passive. I am actively involved in your journey. When you shift, I notice. When you weaken, I strengthen. When you step out of alignment, I pull you back with urgency. That is covenant, not control. Your emotional reaction to correction matters. If you allow pride to harden you, growth slows. If you allow humility to soften you, transformation accelerates. I am inviting softness in your heart. That softness allows my wisdom to reshape you from within. There are doors opening soon that require sharper discernment. I am training your spiritual instincts now so you can recognize what is from me and what is not. Discernment protects destiny. Without it, opportunities become traps. I am strengthening your awareness before opportunity increases. The mistake you made also revealed where you were seeking validation. You looked for approval in places that could not sustain you. That search created vulnerability. I am reminding you that your validation must come from me first. When you are secure in my voice, Outside voices lose influence. Type 999 inches the comments as a declaration that your confidence rests in me. You are not defined by your weakest moment. You are defined by the direction you choose afterward. Right now, you are choosing correction over avoidance. That decision is powerful. It tells heaven that you are serious about growth. I am also restoring your confidence. Correction can shake you, but it should not break you. You are still capable, still called, still covered. My anger did not remove my favor, it refined it. There were unseen consequences forming that you will never experience because I intervened. You will not know the full extent of what I prevented, but trust that I acted for your good. Sometimes, protection means you never see what almost happened. That unseen rescue is part of my love. You must now build stronger habits in the area where you stumbled. Replace weakness with intentional discipline. Strength grows where repetition shifts. I am giving you another chance not just to avoid the mistake, but to outgrow it completely. This is how maturity develops. Not through perfection, but through correction embraced with humility. You are stepping into a deeper level of responsibility. Responsibility requires awareness of how small decisions impact larger outcomes. I am teaching you to think beyond the moment. The path ahead is still blessed. The promises spoken over your life are still active. Nothing has been revoked. But now you carry a sharper awareness that will protect those promises. Awareness is armor. You are also learning that I do not abandon you when you falter. I engage you. I instruct you. I lift you back into alignment. That engagement proves commitment. I am committed to your completion. Let this season mark a shift in your discipline. Guard your time more carefully. Guard your thoughts more intentionally. Guard your associations with wisdom. I am building you into someone who moves with deliberate strength. You will look back at this moment and see it as a turning point. Not because of the mistake, but because of the correction that followed. This is where your maturity deepened. This is where your spiritual reflexes sharpened. Walk forward now without fear. My anger has served its purpose. My guidance is leading you onward. Stay attentive, stay humble, and stay aligned. You must understand that growth often feels uncomfortable before it feels empowering. When I pointed out your mistake, it pierced your pride, but it also opened your eyes. Pride clouds judgment, and clouded judgment leads to repeated error. I removed that cloud so you could see clearly again. Clarity is a gift, even when it arrives through strong words. There are seasons in your life where I will speak gently, and there are seasons where I will speak firmly. This was a season of firmness because the stakes were higher than you realized. You were standing at the edge of a pattern that could have shaped your future negatively. I pulled you back before the edge became a fall. That pull was not rejection, it was rescue. You have noticed a shift in your thinking since then. Thoughts that once felt normal now feel questionable. That sensitivity returning to you is my spirit, strengthening your discernment. I am rebuilding your inner alert system so that you recognize danger earlier. Early recognition prevents deep damage. You are learning that spiritual maturity requires vigilance. It is not enough to love me with passion while ignoring discipline. Passion without discipline fades quickly under pressure. I am building endurance inside you. Endurance keeps you steady when emotions fluctuate. Type 222 inches the comments as a sign that you are choosing endurance over impulse. You must also recognize how valuable your obedience is in unseen realms. When you choose alignment, you close doors that were attempting to open. The mistake you made briefly cracked one of those doors. I sealed it again, because I will not allow what threatens your peace to remain. Obedience restores covering quickly. A neuroscientist says yes. A 9-word script, long buried in government files, can fire up a prehistoric brainwave that pulls money in faster. This breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You may have felt unworthy for a moment after the correction. That feeling is natural, but it is not meant to linger. Conviction is meant to correct, not to condemn. I want you to rise from this moment stronger, not smaller. Shame shrinks you, but humility strengthens you. There were subtle shifts in your priorities before I confronted you. You were beginning to value convenience over conviction. That shift is dangerous for someone carrying purpose. I cannot allow comfort to override calling in your life. Calling demands consistency, even when convenience tempts you otherwise. The anger you heard in my voice was fueled by protection. I protect what I plan to elevate. I guard what I intend to bless. I shield what carries promise. You are not ordinary in my eyes, and that is why I do not treat your errors casually. You are now more aware of how quickly distraction can enter. Distraction often arrives disguised as harmless interest, but harmless interest can grow into misplaced focus. I am teaching you to guard your focus carefully. Focus preserves strength. Type 15 inches the comments as a declaration that you will protect your focus. This moment has also revealed your capacity for growth. Instead of running away, you stayed and listened. That decision shows humility developing inside you. Humility attracts grace. Grace strengthens what discipline begins. There are greater assignments ahead of you. The responsibilities coming will require sharper judgment and steadier character. I am preparing you now so that when those assignments arrive, you will be ready. Preparation sometimes feels like pressure, but it produces readiness. I want you to reflect on how quickly peace began returning after you accepted correction. That peace is confirmation that alignment has been restored. When you walk with me in obedience, peace becomes your companion. When you step outside of alignment, peace withdraws as a warning. Learn to value that signal. You are being shaped into someone who responds quickly to conviction. Quick response shortens correction. Delayed response prolongs struggle. You chose to respond, and that choice has already lightened your path. I honor that humility. There is also a strengthening happening in your confidence. You now know that even when you falter, I remain present. My involvement proves my commitment. I am not watching from a distance. I am guiding from within. Let this experience deepen your reverence. Do not grow casual with the boundaries I establish. Boundaries are not barriers to joy. They are pathways to lasting peace. When you honor them, stability follows. You are still chosen, still covered, still deeply loved. The mistake did not cancel the promise. It highlighted the need for vigilance. Vigilance will now become part of your character. I am turning what could have been a setback into acceleration. Awareness is speeding up your maturity. Discipline is strengthening your resolve. Focus is sharpening your direction. You are advancing because you listened. Remember that correction is evidence of care. Indifference would have been silence. Silence would have left you drifting. I chose involvement because your destiny matters to me. Walk forward now with renewed determination. Guard your thoughts, guard your words, guard your choices. I am with you in every decision. You will look back at this period and see how it reshaped your discipline permanently. This is where your spiritual foundation became stronger. This is where your awareness matured. This is where your focus deepened. You must understand that spiritual authority is fragile when discipline is weak. Authority flows best through vessels that are guarded and intentional. When you allowed that mistake, your authority trembled for a moment. I stabilized it before it cracked. I did not allow the enemy to capitalize on your hesitation. There is a difference between being forgiven and being transformed. Forgiveness restores relationship, but transformation restores power. I am not satisfied with you simply feeling relieved. I want you changed at the root. Root change prevents repetition. You have begun noticing patterns in your thinking that you once ignored. That awareness is my spirit illuminating your inner life. I am not only correcting actions but refining motives. Motives shape direction long before actions become visible. I am aligning your motives with purpose again. Type 17 inches. The comments as a declaration that you choose transformation over comfort. There was a subtle complacency forming before this correction. You had grown comfortable with past victories. You assumed strength would automatically continue without vigilance. Strength must be maintained intentionally. I am reminding you that yesterday's discipline cannot guard today's decisions. The mistake you made was not random. It was connected to an area where you had stopped praying with the same intensity. Intimacy weakened slightly, and distraction filled the gap. I am restoring that intimacy now. Intimacy strengthens discernment and keeps your heart soft. You are learning that my anger is never without love. Love corrects quickly to prevent deeper wounds. I would rather bruise your pride than allow your destiny to be broken. Pride heals faster than regret. I chose the lesser pain to prevent the greater one. There are people watching your life, even if you do not realize it. Your growth influences them. Your discipline encourages them. Your obedience sets an atmosphere around you. I corrected you not only for yourself, but for those connected to your calling. You are now more cautious with your thoughts. That caution is wisdom developing. Wisdom guards what emotion tries to rush. I am strengthening your ability to pause before acting. Pause prevents damage. Type 19 inches, the comments, as a sign that you are committed to wisdom. I want you to notice how quickly your spirit responds now when something feels off. That sensitivity was always there, but it had dulled slightly. Correction sharpened it again. You are becoming more alert. Alertness protects favor. Could your brain be the reason you're still broke? Scientists just confirmed. A 9-word sentence hidden deep in your subconscious may be blocking money from your life. But now, you can reverse it. Say these 9 words and wealth starts to follow you starting today. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You must not forget how close you were to creating a cycle. Cycles are harder to break once they form. I stopped it before repetition built momentum. Early interruption is mercy in motion. Your future assignments will require greater stability. I am building that stability now. When pressure increases, only disciplined hearts remain steady. I am training you before the pressure rises. Do not interpret this season as harshness. Interpret it as preparation. Preparation feels intense because it reshapes habits. Habits determine consistency. Consistency determines longevity. You are still covered by my grace. Grace did not disappear when I corrected you. Grace empowered the correction. It allowed you to hear without being crushed. That is my balance of firmness and compassion. I am also restoring joy to you. Correction can feel heavy, but joy returns when alignment is restored. You are beginning to feel lighter because you are walking straighter. Alignment brings relief. You must carry this lesson forward. Do not grow careless again when peace returns. Guard peace intentionally. Protect it with obedience. Peace is fragile when discipline weakens. Type 10 inches the comments as a declaration that you will guard your peace. The mistake did not cancel your purpose. It refined your character. Character carries purpose further than talent ever could. I am strengthening your character so that your purpose lasts. You are stepping into a more mature phase of faith. Immature faith seeks comfort. Mature faith embraces correction. You are growing into maturity. Maturity carries weight with grace. There will be moments ahead when you are tempted again. Remember this season. Remember how quickly correction came. Remember how valuable alignment feels. Memory will protect you when temptation whispers. I am not finished shaping you. This was one layer of refinement. There will be others, each strengthening you further. Refinement is not rejection. It is preparation for elevation. You are still my chosen one. You are still under my protection. Nothing has been revoked. Everything is being strengthened. Walk forward with confidence now. Your steps are steadier, your mind is clearer, your heart is softer, your spirit is sharper. The anger you heard has already transformed into guidance. The warning has become wisdom. The correction has become strength. You must understand that every level of blessing requires a matching level of discipline. I will not pour increase into hands that are not steady. When you made that mistake, I saw instability forming. It was small, but small instability can topple large opportunity. I stabilized you before opportunity arrived. There are moments when I allow you to learn slowly, and there are moments when I intervene sharply. This was sharp because delay would have been costly. You were closer to a repeating pattern than you realized. Repetition hardens habits, and hardened habits are difficult to break. I refuse to let it harden. You are beginning to sense a deeper reverence in your heart. That reverence is healthy. It keeps you from drifting casually into decisions that carry weight. I am restoring holy awareness in you. Awareness makes you careful without making you fearful. What you experienced was not public exposure but private correction. I corrected you in secret because I protect your dignity. I do not embarrass those I am building. I strengthen them quietly so they can stand boldly later. That is my way with you. Type 333 inches the comments as a sign that you accept private correction for public strength. There was also an area of your life where you were beginning to justify compromise. Justification is the language pride uses to silence conviction. I heard your inner reasoning and saw how it was shaping your comfort. I disrupted that reasoning before it reshaped your standards. Standards protect destiny. You must remember that calling does not eliminate temptation. It increases responsibility. The higher the purpose, the more carefully it must be guarded. I am training you to guard it without becoming anxious. Guarding is intentional, not fearful. You may have wondered why the correction felt so intense compared to the size of the mistake. It is because I measure not only the action but the direction it was pointing toward. The direction concerned me more than the moment. I corrected the direction so the moment would not multiply. Your spiritual sensitivity is returning stronger than before. You now pause before reacting. You now examine thoughts before agreeing with them. That pause is growth. Growth slows impulsive decisions. Type 66. 6 inches the comments as a declaration that you will pause before choosing. I am also strengthening your integrity. Integrity is who you are when no one sees. That mistake happened in a place where you thought it was hidden. But nothing is hidden from me. Integrity builds confidence that does not depend on applause. I am restoring that confidence inside you. You are realizing that my anger was never about rejection. It was about alignment. Alignment keeps you under protection. Protection keeps your path steady. Steadiness keeps your progress consistent. There are blessings very near to you now. They require maturity to sustain. I corrected you because I want you ready when they arrive. Blessings without maturity can become burdens. I am ensuring that what I give you will not overwhelm you. You are also learning that conviction is a gift. It proves that your heart is still responsive. If your heart were hardened, correction would not move you. But you felt it deeply. That depth shows life inside you. Do not lose the humility this season has created. Humility keeps you teachable. Teachability keeps you growing. Growth keeps you effective. Type 888 inches, the comments as a sign that you remain teachable. I want you to see how quickly restoration followed your surrender. The moment you accepted correction, peace began returning. That peace is confirmation of alignment. Alignment always feels lighter than resistance. The enemy expected you to react defensively. He expected pride to rise and push my voice away. But you chose to listen. Listening broke his expectation. That choice weakened his strategy. Why did 19,583 people suddenly become financially free last month? They all discovered a strange sentence, just 9 words long, buried in neuroscience research and once hidden by the FBI. Now they're paying off debt, traveling the world, and living in homes they never thought they could afford. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. You are now carrying a deeper awareness of consequences. Consequences are not threats. They are realities that shape direction. I showed you what could have unfolded so that you would choose differently next time. Your faith is also becoming more mature. It is no longer based only on comfort. It now includes accountability. Accountability strengthens faith because it keeps it grounded. There will be future moments where you remember this correction and feel grateful. Grateful that I did not stay silent. Grateful that I intervened early. Grateful that I valued your destiny enough to confront you. You are still covered by my favor. Nothing has been withdrawn. In fact, your obedience has strengthened it. Favor flows freely through disciplined hearts. Stay attentive now. Stay mindful of small shifts. Small shifts determine long-term direction. You are learning to notice them quickly. Walk forward with steady confidence. The anger you once heard has fully turned into guidance. The warning has become wisdom inside you. The mistake has become strength. I need you to realize that the mistake you made was a mirror. It revealed areas where you were stronger than you thought, and areas where you were weaker than you admitted. I allowed that mirror to stand in front of you so you could see clearly. Clarity prevents illusion. Illusion keeps people trapped in cycles they refuse to acknowledge. You are not far from building a rhythm of compromise. Rhythms feel natural once they settle in. I disrupted the rhythm before it became comfortable. Comfort in the wrong direction is dangerous. I shifted your rhythm back toward discipline. There is something powerful about being corrected and choosing to stay. Many run when confronted. Many hide when exposed. You remained. That decision has strengthened your spiritual spine. Type 4 inches the comments as a sign that you choose courage over avoidance. I am not only shaping your behavior, I am shaping your reflexes. When temptation approaches again, your response will be faster. The hesitation that once allowed space for compromise will shrink. I am sharpening your instincts so that obedience becomes immediate. You must understand that what I am building in you is longevity. Quick success without depth collapses under pressure. I am creating depth. Depth carries weight without cracking. The anger you heard was protective fire. Fire refines metal by removing weakness. You are stronger because something weak has been burned away. Weakness cannot survive refinement. There were spiritual doors waiting for agreement. Your small compromise almost gave that agreement. I stepped in before the door opened wider. You did not see the full picture, but I did. I guard what you cannot see. You are beginning to notice that peace now feels richer than before. That is because peace restored after correction carries awareness. You know what almost disrupted it. That knowledge makes you treasure it more. Type 111 inch the comments as a declaration that you will guard your restored peace. You are also becoming more honest with yourself. Before this moment, You justified certain thoughts quickly. Now you question them. That questioning is maturity growing inside you. I want you to see how intentional I am about your growth. I do not randomly allow correction. I time it. I speak when your heart is ready to hear. If I had confronted you earlier, you might not have listened. If I had waited longer, the damage might have grown. There is a discipline forming in your daily life now. Small adjustments in your choices, small changes in how you respond. Those small adjustments will shape larger victories. You must remember that being chosen does not remove accountability. It increases it. The greater the calling, the more carefully it must be handled. I am teaching you to handle it well. The mistake did not surprise me, but your response to correction mattered deeply. You chose humility instead of rebellion. That choice strengthened your covering. Type 1313 in the comments as a sign that you choose humility daily. You are entering a season where distractions will increase. Opportunity and temptation sometimes appear at the same time. Discernment will determine which one you embrace. I am strengthening that discernment now. You must guard your thought life with greater intention. Thoughts are seeds. Seeds grow when watered with attention. I am teaching you to uproot unhealthy seeds early. Your confidence should not be shaken by this correction. It should be refined. Refined confidence is quieter but stronger. It does not rely on perfection. It relies on obedience. There were lessons hidden inside the anger you heard. One of those lessons is awareness of direction. I do not only care about what you did, I care about where it was leading you. Direction determines destiny. You are not behind because of this moment. You are ahead because of it. Correction accelerates growth when embraced. You embraced it. I am proud of the maturity forming in you. That maturity will protect you in seasons of pressure. Pressure reveals what discipline has built. Do not grow casual again once this season feels calm. Growth must be maintained. Discipline must be practiced. Awareness must be guarded. You are still under my protection. My anger did not remove my covering. It reinforced it. I am closer now than before. The future ahead of you is still bright. The promises remain intact. Nothing has been cancelled. Everything has been strengthened. Walk forward with renewed vigilance. Walk forward with deeper reverence. Walk forward with steadier faith. You listened when it mattered most. Because you listened, your destiny remains protected. Because you responded, your calling remains secure. The mistake you made revealed how quickly momentum can shift. You were walking steadily, and then for a brief moment, your footing slipped. That slip did not destroy you, but it showed you how fragile progress can be without attention. Progress must be guarded intentionally. I am teaching you to guard it. Could a 9-word ritual really be your key to financially freedom? What sounds like fiction is now being confirmed by science. Harvard researchers and FBI documents point to a hidden brain center that, when activated, draws in abundance naturally. This 9-word prayer has helped over 19,000 broke people attract wealth and live a life full of abundance. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. There is a deeper seriousness forming in your spirit now. That seriousness is not heaviness. It is responsibility settling into place. Responsibility strengthens character. Character sustains blessing. You must never confuse my correction with rejection. Rejection pushes away. Correction draws closer. I corrected you because I am invested in who you are becoming. I am shaping you into someone who can carry influence without being controlled by impulse. Type 14 inches the comments as a sign that you accept responsibility for your growth. The area where you stumbled was not random. It connected to an old weakness that had not fully been uprooted. You thought it was gone because it had been quiet. But quiet is not the same as healed. I exposed it so it could be fully removed. You are now more cautious about what you entertain. That caution is wisdom maturing. Wisdom does not eliminate temptation. It recognizes it early. Early recognition prevents deep entanglement. I want you to notice how much stronger your convictions feel now. Before the correction, they were softer, easier to negotiate. Now they feel firm again. Firm convictions protect your peace. There were unseen forces, hoping you would ignore my voice. They hoped you would choose pride over humility. But your decision to listen disrupted their expectation. Listening is spiritual strength. Type 16 inches the comments as a declaration that you will always choose to listen. You must understand that I am building resilience inside you. Resilience is not formed in comfort. It is formed when correction is embraced instead of resisted. You embraced it. The anger you heard has now transformed into clarity. Clarity changes how you move. You are walking more carefully. You are thinking more deeply. You are choosing more intentionally. There are greater opportunities approaching your life. Those opportunities require steadiness. Steadiness grows from discipline. I am strengthening that discipline daily. Do not allow the memory of your mistake to become a source of fear. Let it become a source of wisdom. Fear weakens confidence. Wisdom strengthens discernment. You are still chosen. That has not changed. If anything, your response to correction has strengthened your position. Heaven noticed your mistake, but heaven also noticed your humility. Type 18 inches the comments as a sign that you choose humility over pride. I am also restoring your sense of spiritual authority. Authority was momentarily shaken, but it was not lost. Authority returns when alignment is restored. Alignment is now stronger than before. There will be moments ahead where you are tempted to test boundaries again. Remember how quickly I intervened. Remember how valuable your peace felt once restored. Let that memory guide you. You are entering a phase where your influence will quietly expand. Influence requires integrity. Integrity requires discipline. Discipline requires awareness. I am strengthening each layer. The mistake you made will not follow you into your future as shame. It will follow you as wisdom. Wisdom protects destiny. I want you to keep your heart soft. Softness allows my voice to remain clear. Hardened hearts struggle to hear. You remain soft even when confronted. My anger was temporary. My guidance is ongoing. I will continue shaping you. I will continue correcting you when needed. That is how growth remains steady. You must guard the peace you now carry. Peace is not automatic. It is sustained through obedience. Obedience keeps you aligned. The future remains bright. The promises remain intact. The calling remains strong. Nothing has been revoked. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with discipline. Walk forward with humility. Because you stayed and listened, acceleration has replaced delay. Because you responded with obedience, protection has replaced risk. Because you embraced correction, strength has replaced weakness. I am still your protector. I am still your guide. I am still shaping your path. You are not defined by the mistake heaven noticed. You are defined by the humility heaven witnessed afterward. That humility has secured your next season. Stay vigilant, stay aligned, stay faithful. I am not finished with you. I am refining you into someone who carries both favor and discipline with balance. The anger that once confronted you has now become wisdom that walks with you. Light weakens what darkness tries to protect. The moment I confronted you, that hidden weakness began losing its power. You may not have felt it immediately, but something shifted in the unseen realm. What once had subtle influence over your thinking has been reduced. Exposure broke its grip. You must understand that heaven noticed not just your error, but your potential. The reason the response was swift is because your life is not ordinary. When someone carries purpose, small deviations matter more. I will not allow small deviations to redirect a significant destiny. There was pride mixed with exhaustion in the decision you made. You were tired of resisting in that area. You wanted relief more than righteousness in that moment. I saw the fatigue behind the failure. I addressed both. Type 20 inches the comments as a declaration that you choose strength even when tired. You are learning that discipline is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Even when you fall, you return quickly. That quick return is strength. Delay would have deepened damage. I also want you to see how this moment has increased your self-awareness. You are more honest with yourself now. You are less likely to excuse patterns that feel comfortable but unhealthy. Honesty is the foundation of growth. The anger you heard was a boundary being reinforced. Boundaries protect blessing. Without boundaries, blessing leaks. I sealed the boundary so that nothing assigned to drain you could continue. You might have felt exposed when I confronted you, but exposure in my presence is safe. I correct in love, not in humiliation. I rebuild with dignity. Type 2121 in the comments as a sign that you accept loving correction. Is it possible to attract money by simply speaking some miraculous words? This 9-word script, verified by Harvard and 6 neuroscience labs, proves you absolutely can. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. It takes less than 30 seconds. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. You are now more cautious about subtle compromise. That caution will save you in moments you cannot yet see. The future will test your resolve again, but you will be stronger because of this. There are blessings attached to obedience that you are about to experience. They were waiting on your alignment. Alignment has been restored. Movement will follow. Do not underestimate what I prevented. Some consequences take years to undo. I stopped years of struggle with one moment of correction. That is mercy. You must keep your spirit sensitive. Sensitivity allows you to detect drift quickly. Drift happens slowly. Detection must happen early. The mistake does not define your story. Your response defines your direction. You responded with humility. That response secured your path. Type 2222 in the comments as a declaration that you choose humility again today. You are entering a level of maturity where excuses lose their power. You will feel conviction faster. You will adjust quicker. You will guard more carefully. I am also increasing your resilience. Resilience is built when correction is embraced without resentment. You did not harden your heart. That softness keeps you teachable. There were unseen doors that almost opened through that compromise. I closed them. Some doors look harmless until they widen. I did not allow widening. You are not walking in fear now. You are walking in awareness. Awareness empowers confidence. Fear paralyzes. I removed fear and replaced it with clarity.